5, 4, 3.
Welcome to the Sippi Girls podcast. Sippi Girls is about the adventures of outdoor sorority sisters,
encouraging women in Mississippi to push their limits. Hey everybody, welcome back. We have a fellow Sippi girl here. Ashley Deadeye Jones from History Channel Swamp People, and this is...
I'm Emma Powell from Sippi Girls in Avery Farms.
All right, and so I basically wanted to have a phone call with you, but instead of having a phone call, I figured we might as well just talk about it on the pod.
Right.
All right, so we have Alligator, Mississippi opening up Friday at noon. I'm so excited. And for those of y'all that don't know, Mississippi is so hard to get tags for. And Emma got a set of reservoir tags.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell me about it. Have y'all got any gators picked out?
This season, just because, we're all in different directions and Robert's been baling hay constantly, and I've been at the baseball stadium, so we haven't done as much scouting as we like to, but between, the guys, they know the land around there pretty much because they've been going since forever when they started doing the tags, and so they know where the big ones are, so I have my total faith in them.
It's like it's a sense of security, because when you have somebody else that's going to be taking you gator hunting, it's nice when they've got all the stuff. They know what they're doing.
Well, they've been picking on me a lot this time too because we've got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, and Emma, you need to do this because you got the tags, and Emma, you need to do this because you got the tags. I'm like, well, I got it, but I need y'all to help me too on it,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's been fun though.
It's crazy because I don't get stressed out about Louisiana gator hunting the way I do Mississippi.
Because it's so much gear that you have to have, and making sure that your lines and your poles and everything are so secure. Do we have enough line? Is this going to be the right kind of line that's not going to break? I remember the guys last year, there was a packet that they opened and they threw it out one time, and I think whenever they threw it out and it broke immediately, they unreeled it and put another one back on because they were like, nope, we're not doing that again. So it's just the preparing of it, because it's, just constantly the 24/7. And, whenever you went with us, we sleep on the boat. So it's, it even goes down to how many hours.
Especially the tag holders sleeping on the boat.
Yeah.
We need them.
Yeah. Even, preparing for food. So thank goodness we have, Sue and them to help us out with that, with the boiled peanuts. And it's just a lot of preparing that goes into it. And I know it is the same way in Louisiana too, but I guess just with the rods and the reels and the different equipment that you have to have compared to Mississippi and Louisiana, it's totally different.
For Mississippi hunting, it's like you need a full-time team of people that are there to make sure all your lights are charged. Mm-hmm. The batteries are a real problem. And just being able to have something to eat. Nobody thinks about eating while you're out there gator hunting.
And
it's
you
so important.
And we gotta be so thankful for, your mom and my mom and, close friends of ours, like I said, Sue and
Tisha.
my mother-in-law and Tisha.
Tisha came over and
Brooke
had
especially too.
everything all cut up and ready. And she's like, look, when y'all come in from hunting, here's your snacks.
So all those friends of ours that, we love so dearly and stuff like that, I honestly don't think we give them enough credit, because when it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm just as competitive as you are. So when my husband says, hey, did you pack a so-and-so sandwich? I'm like, no,
y'all have to eat. Oh my
so thank goodness we have, those people that'll help us out. And hey, y'all need anything? Oh, how long y'all gonna be out? Y'all seen one yet? So it's just the motivation of those two.
Well, it's like when you're the female, it's expected of us to have all of the
to nurture them.
Yeah.
No, you can go make a sandwich. I'll hold the pole.
Yeah, you're feeling weak. You better eat. Yeah, you didn't plan that.
Maybe that has something to do with me and you being redheads too, because we're just like, no.
I just know that for me, I don't have to have anything but the gear for gator hunting to be out there. It's just something about being outside.
It's an adrenaline.
Yeah. And what we're talking about here is Mississippi, and what you see on the show in Louisiana is so completely different in how hard you have to hunt. And in Mississippi, you have to get it snagged with a rod and reel. There's no baiting. There's no big fishing hooks. It's way more, it's just takes talent to catch a gator. And to not only catch a gator and get it hooked, to get it to the boat and in the boat.
Yeah, well, I wanted to always ask that question too, because I've never hunted in Louisiana, and I want to at some point. I want to so bad. But how long, when you have one baited, how long is the process of, okay, got it, pull it into the boat before you shoot it and it's actually in the boat? Compared, and I guess I'm asking that is because compared to however many times we got to throw it out before we even snag it underneath the water. So how long does it take in Louisiana by the time you?
Well, it's just like literally night and day difference. So in Louisiana, when we go out and bait, that bait typically is going to sit all day until, especially if the gators in the area have already fed, but they typically like to eat in the evenings. And so in Louisiana, since you can bait them, and what we're talking about here is in Louisiana, you have a line with a hook that is as big as my hand, and it has a big piece of chicken on it, and the alligator comes and eats that piece of chicken, and then it's hooked in the stomach. And so when I go up, I mean, that gator, the fight is still the same. It just depends on how mad that gator can be or get.
Or how long they've been wore out too.
Yeah.
Because they might have been trying to.
Well, some of them
get
will
away
go
for
up
a
and
while,
bite, and they'll be hooked, but they'll sit there, and I mean, they'll fight themselves off the line.
So then they're wore out by that
But
time.
then some of them just go to the bottom and sink and just sit there and wait because they don't want to fight the hook in their stomach and lose any energy fighting a hook, So most of them have been sitting there all night and they're ready to attack at whatever has them caught.
And the reason I asked Ashley that question is because, just to let our followers know that's listening to us right now, the way it is in Mississippi, if you're lucky enough to snag them, and thank goodness, Robert and David's with us because they're, David's, David, he's a professional with it, So, and when you do snag them, those gators are full of that energy right now. So, it can take up to hours. I mean, sometimes all day, especially if it's a big one and stuff, before they wear themselves out to come up to the surface, and then you fighting them to get in the surface. So it could be hours and hours and hours by the time that you get it hooked, you can get it in the boat. And so that I wanted to just see what the difference was between that, But yeah, I didn't even think about that. I guarantee they've been fighting in Louisiana and wearing themselves out, so it probably is a little bit quicker process. But my gosh, I mean.
But a lot of them still, if they are, it just depends on what kind of mood that gator's in too, because there's a lot of them that, I mean, they're barely hanging on by a string. I mean, literally the last little piece of thread that just had wrapped all the way around,
Yeah.
It's just so different.
I want to go in Louisiana so bad. I cannot wait till I get that opportunity to do that. But yeah, I'm really excited about the 25th. It's almost like a vacation, but almost like a work vacation, But me, the way that I think about this kind of stuff, and maybe, the alligator population has gotten so bad around here. I mean, we see them basically stopped at traffic lights waiting for the lights to turn green so they can go across,
Yeah.
It's gotten so out of bad. So, the purpose of alligator season, yes, it is a sport, but I look at it just the same way I do bow fishing and that kind of stuff. I think we're doing like a conservation type thing, or we're helping out the environment and stuff like that, because it is getting so overrun, just like the deer. So that's one of the reasons I'm so excited to get the tag too and have that opportunity, because I do think in that type of way too, we're doing a service towards, not being so overrun with them and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's hard too in Mississippi to realize how hard it is to actually tag a gator and get it into the boat. And so once people realize how hard it is, and it's getting to the end of gator season, in Mississippi, we only have a 10-day gator season.
With 2 tags.
With 2 tags.
Yeah.
And even then, it's really hard to fill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it definitely can be. And I like the last few years that I've went with someone that's had tags and stuff like that. This is obviously my first time having tags, but I'm glad that I got to experience it over the last few years, going with the guys and whoever was tag holders, because they would reach out to them and say, look, we don't have any equipment, but we want to go and experience. So just getting to experience, new timers and stuff like that.
I love taking people for their first time.
It's so fun. And
For somebody
especially if it's a kid too.
Sorry to interrupt, but I am not very educated on alligator hunting. So you talk about tags and stuff a lot. So will you tell the people a little bit exactly how you get a tag? What does that look like? Is it like a lottery, or how does that work to get a tag in Mississippi?
Yeah, so it's an application process, and it's basically a lottery draw, and has been a lottery draw. There's not a point system, so it doesn't matter whether or not you fill your tags, which I really wish it did. I wish that there was a point system, and I know that Wildlife is doing all that they can, and I'm just thankful that they even have a program that's so well ran here in Mississippi with with everybody in mind, to be able to keep the sport going, but also keep conservation in mind. And it's really weird, Danny, that how the process works here. The one year that I did get a tag was a lottery draw, or not a lottery draw. It was first come, first serve. And
now it's a lottery draw.
So you put in for the tag process. You put in an application to get a permit, and you find out 2 months later?
About 2 months later, and you have if you are drawn, you have a 24-hour
Is it 24 hours now?
I think it's 24.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's 24, maybe 48. It's not long at all.
Yeah.
And you have to go in and actually buy the tags that you were drawn for, and the individuals that are drawn but actually don't purchase the tags, then they go in for a second drawing. I got lucky enough to go in on the first drawing, so you better believe whenever Robert had saw that I that my name crop, I said, you should go to web buy it right now. Yeah, so we did that. So that's how it works. But the actual tags, so they only fill how many tags is it, or people? 200, isn't it? I could be wrong on that.
No, it's much more. It's
is it?
like, I want to say like around 600.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the whole number of it.
But what you do is it's a $2 fee for the application process, and then once you get drawn for the tag, then the tag is $200.
200. That's where I'm getting the 200.
And so whoever doesn't purchase their tag within the 24 to 48 hour window, whatever it is now, then they open up a second drawing to be able to fill more tags, or give other people the opportunity to get the tags if someone isn't able to purchase the permit on the first draw.
So, and what the tags look like, the way I can describe it is, the plastic armbands, like the plastic one that you get that you can like print information on that you'd wear around your wrist. That's kind of what it looks like. So whenever we actually get the gators in the boat, we get a knife and we split the end of the tail and wrap it through there to where it's actually tagged. So it's not like a cow tag that I have on my red shirt or my red shirt here at home, but it's that's what it looks like to me. It's kind of like a little armband,
like a paper plastic band,
but it's waterproof and all that kind of stuff too. So but that's what it looks like.
And then once you catch a gator, measuring the girth, the tail.
So one of your tags is for an under 6 foot, right?
Under 7,
and then obviously over 7. So we've had
Have you ever been in a situation where, so in Mississippi, we only get one gator that we can tag over 7 foot. So if we catch a gator and it's over 7 foot and we've already filled our runt tag, that's a gator that we still have to get the hooks out of. We still have to catch this gator live and be able to release it safely back into the water without getting bit or there being...
And it surprises me how many people don't know around here that, everybody's, the only thing that they have to compare it, unless you actually follow the alligator hunting in Mississippi, everybody automatically thinks that it's just like y'all on Swamp People, where you before you even get them into the boat, or you pull them up and then you shoot them and it's over with. But here in Mississippi, like you're saying, to determine the length of it, you're got them hooked. Somebody's got tail on this end of the boat. Somebody's got the middle of it holding it. Somebody's got the head holding it. With somebody comes right behind us with a tape measure and see how long it is, and then you make the decision. Okay, what do you want to do? So
have y'all ever been cutting it close?
Yes, there's been a few times cutting it close. Were you with your brother?
Your
brother was
6'11". 6'11" on the money. I mean, I was like, okay, let's do it. okay, that's good. And then it was like, wow, that's really close.
Mhm.
You better be stretching that thing out, making
Mhm.
double sure. Because once that one's in the boat,
That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, and it gets those decisions that um
And people
do
don't
you
realize
keep
how,
it? Do we not keep it? Are we going to see it again? We don't know. You know?
well, once you get it in the boat, it's like, you feel like maybe you could get a bigger one, but sometimes they give you enough run for your money that you're like, okay, this one's
Mhm.
good enough, you know. But people don't realize in Mississippi that if it isn't one that is going to be tagged, we have to release it back into the water, and you have to have their mouths taped.
Mhm.
I mean, they can switch their head around and all so
Mhm.
fast. I mean, it makes me nervous thinking about it. I
Yeah.
think like a fine line between the adrenaline and stupidity. Just like getting myself worked up about all this now.
I'm not. I got butterflies. I'm still excited. I can't wait.
I think it's that you expect to have such a good time. You know, it's
Mhm.
like the build up.
Well, like I was telling you yesterday on the phone too. I love how it's with all of us because we all have so much in common. Like, you know, when we all go, it's a family thing to us, which none of us is related, but it's a family experience too. And like I said, it's the ones of us that actually go on the boat and we're, you know, spending this time together, something that we all love. And then we always know that we're going to come home at night and, you know,
Have a warm meal.
have the meals
Have-
and ready for us and stuff like that. So that picks you up. I mean, you can imagine if you didn't have those people that, you know, support us and support the stupidity, like you said, like, then it probably wouldn't be as enjoyable as it is. Probably get wore out really quick.
The thing I love about the group of people is just that the alligator hunting community is so tight.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just looks out for each other. If we're out on the water and somebody needs help, we're getting over there fast. And being able to tie a hook, like being able to tie a good knot, is a huge asset during gator season. So if anybody's like looking to go gator hunting with somebody and you're needing, and you don't have a tag and you need to make yourself useful, learn how to tie knots.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
because they get broken so fast.
And you got to learn how to do it quick and in a hurry to get another hook in them or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, for me, I practice with rod and reel, but I have just a weighted line on it. It doesn't have a hook to get caught, but I'll try to go and cast it and hit like the same rock in the middle of the road,
Right.
or a leaf or something in the grass, just something where I can try to, you know, work on my accuracy with throwing that rod and reel.
Yeah.
So in Mississippi, we have a rod and reel, and we have to lob it over that gator and get it just at the right spot to where you can hook enough of that underbelly to like get a grip on him. And if he goes down, unless you can see the bubbles and hopefully get a better look at him, I'll tell you what helped us last year or year before when we took William. David has that sonar
Oh, yeah.
on his boat.
Yeah.
And that thing is incredible.
Yeah,
David's
you could see
a
the whole
good gator hunter
Yeah, you could see the
alone.
whole outline of it on the bottom. So yeah, it is so cool.
But
We've
for
got
him to
pictures
have
of
that sonar is
Mhm.
like dangerous. You can see the scoots on that gator's back.
Mhm.
That is like borderline cheating. You know, like, David, you're already really good at casting, you know? But it was really cool because that gator was sitting there and it just was hunkering the bottom, and just, he didn't care that we were there. It just goes to show you what those gators are doing. So when they're not going and swimming the surface, they're just hanging out. They're not worried about you, and they really just want you to get on past them. But it's probably good that you haven't done a bunch of scouting, because those gators are going to be skittish enough on the reservoir.
Yeah, we just haven't had time to go scouting. That's the deal. But and part of me kind of takes the fun out of it. I don't know. I shouldn't say that because it's always fun, but you know what I'm saying. I've always been the one that.
Well, we went out there
and,
and went jugging one night, and it was the Friday night. It was the Saturday night of the huge meteor showers. And it was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were out there with those reflective jugs, and Brad and Tisha had taken us. Well, we went out on my boat, but Brad and Tisha went out there with us, and we're like, this is like that. This is just what it is. Just, we're out here on the boat, just living it up, just having fun. And Brad is hilarious.
I know.
He is so funny.
I think, yes, all of them are. That there, especially at nighttime, whenever we all start getting delirious and ready to take a nap, I love how David and Brad and them, or even Robert or all of them, they'll start, going back and forth telling old stories, and I get to laughing so hard that
Well,
it's
we
like,
had like me and Brad are sitting there working. We're dealing with these nasty garlic bait. You know what I mean? Not nasty, but you know what I mean. Like we're working. We're baiting the hooks and throwing the jugs out. And Chad's looking straight up at that meteor shower, and he must have seen the biggest one he'd ever seen in his life. He went to describing that meteor shower, and I mean, we went probably about 20 solid seconds of hearing about this amazing meteor shower, and then it went into 20 seconds of solid silence. And then Brad turned back and looked at Chad and was like, well, you just had like a cosmic galactic experience. We're over here working, trying to get these jugs lined, and here you are just.
See, but Chad's funny in his own way too, because him like last year falling before we even day one.
Do you know he had both phones in his
Yes, I
pocket?
know. So her husband Chad falls like day one of gator season when y'all went with us.
He's like going to
year.
try to push us off
Oh my
at the
God!
dock.
And he fell in the water.
Did he do a full flip?
I don't know, but it was funny because he had just fussed at you about the
phone.
phones
That's
that
why
you
he
go
had my
through.
phone in his pocket because
The
he thinks
phones he
that my
went
phone's
through.
safer with him.
Yeah, so when he fell in the water and he jumped up out of that water like a dolphin into the boat, oh my God, it was so funny. But then you say, but then it would be like I remember there was at one point last year, you and I had both reels and we was reeling in one of them or something like that, and Chad come behind them and he's like, what y'all need, what y'all need, what y'all need, but then he would go off and look at something else like random.
He's a pacer, and so
but
to
I
be
love
locked
it
on a
because I
boat
get to
with
laughing
him,
at him so much because he's hilarious.
when he gets excited, he needs to like walk it off.
I do.
And there's nowhere to go on the boat. And I'm like, buddy, you got to sit
Sit
down.
down.
Sit down. Make me nervous.
So funny. Okay. Well, it's funny when I was sitting in the parking lot waiting on you, I was actually going through because I wanted to make a TikTok of our season last year. So I was looking at all the pictures. You remember day 1 too, whenever we said first day of gator season, like, because we were making comments that it was all the kids going back to school and with their signs that said first day of gator season. So I like that picture of all of us with, it was your brother was there with us on that one too. Camden was too.
Right.
Well, then I scrolled through and the sun was coming up at some point, and no, it was right like 11:59 p.m. and we took another picture and it was said still first day of gator season in that picture. So that was a full like almost 48 hours we was on the boat that day. Yeah, that was wild.
It's a wonder, like, marriages survive gator season with, like, you two being so crazy.
Yeah.
It's a wonder men stay married to women that enjoy the outdoors unless they are being really supportive.
Yeah, but I think it has a lot to do with, because, I mean, you know this, I wasn't necessarily into hunting and that kind of stuff growing up. So I guess if I would have never branched out and went hunting and got to I mean, I grew up in 4-H and I didn't shoot any sports, but I never actually sat in the outdoors and did it before until I met Robert. And, he and even you, I mean, you and I've done so much different things together. And so that's a lot of like first time experiences with me, and I fell in love with it. So I think if women don't, they get it in their mindset, with their husbands, boyfriends, or whatnot, that they don't experience, and they probably are sitting at home thinking, oh, God, this is ridiculous. Like, why in the world are they out for 48 hours and this kind of stuff, But I think if they do branch out and do love it as much as, like, I love it, that's a bonding thing that Robert and I can do together, and then when you include other people in it and you become, this quote unquote family together, it just makes all the difference. So that's one of the reasons, especially with Sippi Girls, is I want to encourage women to go out and experience this type of thing, because it can build relationships and you can have your own voice. And, my deal is bow fishing. I love that. Robert would rather be in a deer stand, something like that. So,
You like bow fishing because it's more of a social sport, too.
Oh, yeah. And you turn up the
Run
radio.
your mouth.
Oh, I gotta
Oh,
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to
I
be
love
able to
it.
talk.
But the bad thing is I've not been once this year. Not once.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of not doing this once, have you ever done a cold water plunge?
Mm-mm. So where you
Okay.
like ice cold water?
Yeah, ice cold water. Like 42 degrees, Danny? 42 degrees optimal. And it is life-changing,
So what does it do? Shock your body?
pretty much.
Make you lose weight?
Pretty much.
Ooh, I could do that.
Okay, so listen, you get in there and I drop down and it's piercing hurting. You know, it's like, it just like, it puts you in complete shock. But the thought process that I have to sit there through it, and then the feeling of getting out
How
and
long you
after I
gotta
get
sit in
done,
there?
I love it. I've done it for I did it the first time with Ivana for 7 minutes, and then I did it for 3 minutes, and then 3 minutes, just like almost 3 minutes. I didn't make 3 minutes,
Well,
and I'm
what's the point?
disappointed. Okay, so I don't know all the scientific stuff behind it, but I know for me, it's like going to the gym and whipping my own butt for an hour and a half. It's that feeling of when you get done, like I didn't want to go and do that, but I
Because
did
your
it.
muscles and everything tense up so much. So it's like a workout.
It is like a workout, but you don't have to like do the workout. It's like it's just in your mind. It's just a mind thing.
I would do it. I totally
It's like
would do
it's
that.
so hard. You're just it's miserable. Like you hate doing that. Like you hate running or working out. You know,
Yeah,
but
I can't stand it.
it's the feeling of when I get done. And also I've noticed that I'm getting up earlier. I'm happier about it when I'm getting up. I'm overall
If Robert hears this, he's gonna make me do it every day. Cause
like
I am
my
the worst,
baseline
I
is
am
so
the
much
worst
calmer.
person in the world about getting up.
I haven't done it since we left church Sunday, and I've thought about it. This is the second podcast I've done today, and then this is like the only thing on my mind right now. So I know it's time to go do it again. You would love it.
I would try it. I'm good about like. I remember we went to Biloxi and we were at the swimming pool with my mom, my aunt, and my granny, and the water was so cold there at the little swimming pool. But sitting outside, you was sweating, you know, the entire time, being typical Mississippi. But still, the water was so cold, and I actually got in the water and I acclimate really good to it. So I think I would like that kind of stuff.
My oldest came in and just got in it and just like dropped down to his neck and just like started breathing, and never thought he would have had a problem with it at all. Just thought that was where he was born to be. He's like a polar bear. And
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
okay. Today?
Today?
Okay, maybe we don't have to do it today, but I want to do it soon.
We can do it today. I don't care.
It's like after I get done, it feels like you just feel good. You'll like it.
Okay, I'll do it.
It's crazy. I know you'll be on board.
Well, you know me, I'll do anything. I am not going to catch frogs. No.
That blows my mind. You
No,
don't catch
I'm not. I'm
frogs.
not doing it. I went and turned off the water this morning before I left and went to the stadium, the Steers water, and in the whatever you call it, where the spigots are, it's like a hole in the ground, and there was a frog in there, and I was like, hard decision. Do I let the water overflow and flood the whole property, or do I get attacked by this frog? Thank goodness it jumped away. I'm bad. You don't like roaches. I can deal with roaches.
I won't not. Okay, that's fair, because I will not reach out and grab for a roach. That
You
is
gag.
I can't even think about it long enough. Like
She
right
gags.
now, I'm not. Yeah.
Like bad gags. It's weird. Like first time you did, I remember I think I was sitting next to Tisha and Brooke too, probably. And you started look
I'm having to really focus.
and little one. We were outside in
The little ones are the
Mississippi.
very worst. I will
Yeah.
take a roach the size of a limo.
She gets up and she literally starts gagging, and all of us at the point we're her good friends and we're, like laughing at her. And then I think Brooke or somebody was like, no, y'all, like she's for real. Like this is bad. But those little green frogs, the little tree frogs
Oh,
that
those are
everybody
the
thinks,
cutest.
yeah, they so cute. No, they in your house on your windows and they're looking at you like this. They freak me out. I don't like them. And then my mom, she thinks it's hilarious to find frogs at the stadium, and she puts them in a little cup and brings them to my office like she's got a present for me.
See,
And then
that's
I
what I'm
freak out.
terrified of. I don't like even like anybody. Like y'all wouldn't have known that about me had you not said it. I don't even like people to know that, because I know that they'll be bringing me like cups of
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean, and I will be forced to violence. I mean, I'm only gonna hear I'm cool, calm, and collected so many times, but you add a roach to the equation, I'm
Isn't
out.
that weird though? And I'm like that with frogs, but I'll pick up a snake, wrestle an alligator.
It's something about them being little and being able to just infest your whole world,
I don't
and
like-
they're nasty.
I don't like
They carry
ladybugs either.
diseases, and they stink even.
Yeah, I don't like ladybugs either. We're getting so off topic.
We are. Yeah, we got to stay focused here because we'll be thinking about all the things in life that'll keep us from killing gators. All right, so we're going to have another podcast when you come back. We want to hear about the season and how it went.
Yay.
The gators. Bring plenty of pictures.
I will.
And we'll keep everybody updated on the Sippi Girls page. And tell us about the hunt. Has there been any movement on that? Do y'all have a date?
We've been talking to Lindsay and Cody. Just to let y'all know, they're from Missouri. You can see them on my Facebook page or get to meet them. I'll do some introductions with her and stuff like that on my Facebook page.
So Emma donated one of her tags to Sippi Girls.
did.
And we put up a thing, and our winner is who she's talking about
Mhm.
for the draw.
So right now we're trying to finalize everything because they have not started school in Missouri yet. So we're trying to get them finalized date, but it will be within the first weekend. So yeah, y'all just keep up on the Sippi Girls page and on my personal Facebook page. And like I said, we'll do some introductions with Lindsay. I know that she's a writer for Crappie Magazine, so I kind of think that's really cool. So I'm excited to see her and learn about that industry a little bit as well too, because I you know, like I said, I'm always wanting to go do something all the time now. So
Well, there's some really good crappie fishing on the reservoir too, so I'd like to learn a little bit more about that.
mhm.
So we'll definitely have her on soon.
Yeah.
All right.
for
Well,
sure.
y'all
That'd
have
be
a fun,
good.
safe
I
hunt.
know. I can't wait.
We'll hear about it soon.